Good morning, everyone. My name is Miss Meredith, and I'm the children's librarian at the Patterson Park branch. Welcome to Storytime. Today, our special guest is, oh my goodness, who are you? I be Petey the pirate. This is Petey the pirate. Oh my goodness. He is here to help us with our story. Do you know why you're here today, Petey? I have not read the story yet. Well, once you've read it, you'll see what we're going to do, and it's going to be pretty awesome. But before we do that, I think we should start with a hello song. So, the song I like to sing for the hello song is If You're Happy and You Know It. Can you clap your hands? Petey can clap his hands. I can kind of clap my hands. All right, here we go. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Very good. Can you stomp your feet? I'm going to stomp my feet. Petey doesn't have any feet. I'm going to stomp my feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. All right, can you say, hooray? If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! All right, do you think we can do all three? Arr! Yes, of course we can. We're going to clap, clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! Here we go. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp. Hooray! Very good job, everybody. That was excellent. All right, Petey, you're going to sit right here for a second. I don't know about you, but I have been so cold lately because it is winter time and we have had so much snow and we're supposed to get more snow this weekend. So I thought before we read our story, we could sing a snow song. Can you get some snow ready to fall down like this? Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so nice. We're going to have our snow fall in a few different places. It's going to fall on the roof of our house, and it's going to fall in a few places on our body, and it's going to fall on the ground. Here we go. Snow is falling all around, on the rooftops, on the ground. Snow is falling on my nose, on my head and hands and toes. Oh, my toes are below my desk, so I can't touch them. Have you ever caught a snowflake on your hand? If you catch it on your bare skin, it melts pretty much immediately. But if you can catch it on a glove or on your sleeve, you can see that the snowflake has a beautiful pattern. So I think it's something you should try next time it snows. If you've never done it before, try and catch a snowflake so you can look and see what it looks like. It has 6 points and it's really, really cool. All right. So the book that we are reading today, Petey, and you guys, is this book called The Antlered Ship. It's by Dashka Slater, and the Fan Brothers did the pictures, and we're reading it with permission from Simon & Schuster. Now, the main character in this book is not a pirate. So let's see if we can figure out, while we read this book, why we might have brought a pirate puppet with us to story time today. You too, Petey. You pay attention. Here we go. Oh my goodness, look at this. I love this picture with the ship out in the foggy ocean. All right, so here is the main character of this book. Do you know what kind of animal this is? This is a fox. Something that was pretty exciting. Yesterday when I was coming to the library, I saw a fox on the side of the road. I was really, really excited. Okay. The day the antlered ship arrived, Marco wondered about the wide world. He had so many questions. Why do some songs make you happy and others make you sad? Why don't trees ever talk? How deep does the sun go when it sinks into the sea? But when he posed these questions to the other foxes, they grew silent. What does that have to do with chicken stew, they would ask. He has lots of questions, doesn't he? Do you ever have questions that people don't know the answer to? It can be kind of frustrating, can't it? So Marco went down to the harbor to see the ship. 3 deer greeted him at the gangplank. Marco wasn't surprised to learn that they were lost. The ocean is very big. It would be very easy to get lost in the ocean. Let's see, we've got our deer, we've got our fox, we have a bear and a moose, I think, and a badger. All sorts of cool animals on this page. Oh my goodness, my hands are cold. It's hard to turn the pages. We hope to hire a seaworthy crew, explained Sylvia, the captain. I'm afraid we aren't very good sailors. I will join you, Marco said. He thought to himself, I will search the seas for foxes who know the answer to my questions. A pigeon named Victor volunteered along with his entire flock. We want to have adventures, they cooed. Welcome aboard, Captain Sylvia said. We're going to a wonderful island with tall, sweet grass and short, sweet trees. When we get there, we'll eat a delectable dinner. One thing I really like about this book is all the different animals that you can see in it. Some of them are ones that you can see here in Baltimore. You've almost certainly seen pigeons in Baltimore before, right? And I've seen foxes sometimes, usually early in the morning. And I've seen some deer at parks. But the voyage was more difficult than anyone expected. It rained, waves crashed over the sides of the deck. Why is water so wet? Marco wondered. It does look hard, doesn't it? Can you see Marco on the deck? He's very small. He's that kind of orangey spot right up there. It is so hard to turn the pages when your fingers are cold. The pigeons weren't used to the hard work of raising and lowering the sails. After the first day, they went below decks to play checkers and stayed there. The deer worried about sharp rocks and fierce pirates and feeling seasick. They huddled in the bow and waited for something bad to happen. Feeling seasick is something that I would worry about if I was on a ship. That's when you feel yucky when your tummy moves around. You can feel that way in a car too, or on a roller coaster, anything that moves a lot. After days of drifting and dining on crackers, the animals were damp and cranky. We should have stayed in the woods, Sylvia said. Deer aren't supposed to go to sea. We should have stayed in the park, added Victor. Pigeons aren't supposed to do hard labor. Marco eyed the deer and the pigeons. Foxes aren't supposed to be vegetarian, he said. Still, we must do the best we can. If you were damp and only had crackers to eat, you'd probably be a little cranky too, wouldn't you? That evening, Marco found a recipe book in the galley and cooked a warm and reviving stew. Should we look at the charts, he asked after everyone had eaten. It's true, after you have a good meal, you do feel better. All right, so they're going to look at the charts to see if they can find where they're supposed to go. We might find adventure here, said Victor. And trouble here, said Sylvia. But we'll find the island with tall, sweet grass and short, sweet trees here. And perhaps foxes too, Marco thought. Foxes with answers. As they plotted their course, the wind picked up. The storm clouds thinned into marvelous swirls. Raise the sails, Sylvia cried. Now, if you're on a boat, it mostly has a motor. But old boats would have big pieces of cloth called sails that would help the boat sail across the water. In the morning, they came to the maze of sharp rocks, each one large enough to tear the bottom from the boat. But the pigeons flew ahead, tracing a path through the shoals and sharp rocks to the safety of the open sea. My goodness. It's nice of the pigeons to do that. So helpful. The next afternoon, a pirate ship burst from behind a rocky island. Turn over your treasure, the pirate captain bellowed, or we'll put a hole in your helm. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Look at these pirates. They look very fearsome, don't they? Lower the antlers, Sylvia commanded. The ships clashed and crashed and smashed until the pirates turned and fled. Whew. They defeated the pirates. What a relief. That evening, an island appeared on the horizon with tall waving grasses and short swaying trees. "We found it," Sylvia cried. "We've triumphed," Victor cooed. "Do you see any foxes?" Marco asked. What do you think? Do you think that there will be foxes on the island? The deer grazed the grass and nibbled the trees. The pigeons told stories of their adventures to flocks of admiring seagulls. And Marco scoured the island for foxes. He's scouring, which means he's looking very hard to see if he's looking everywhere to see if he can find any foxes. Do you see any? The one that's right here by my finger, that's Marco. Do you see any other ones? But he didn't find any. Oh no. He's the only fox on this island. How will he know the answers to his questions? "I have failed," Marco told Victor and Sylvia. "No foxes, no one to answer my questions." "What questions?" Victor asked. Marco took a deep breath. "Do islands like being alone? Do waves look more like horses or swans? And what's the best way to find a friend you can talk to?" "The last one's easy," Sylvia said. "You make friends by eating together." "I disagree," said Victor. "You make friends by having adventures together." "Maybe you're both right," Marco said. "But I think you make friends by asking them questions." I think all of those are good ways to make friends. But asking other people questions about themselves, that's a great way to make a friend. "Well then," mused Sylvia, "should we head home tomorrow? Or should we visit the island of scrumptious shrubbery?" "Are 2 adventures enough?" asked Victor. "Or should we have at least one more?" "Is it better to know what's going to happen?" wondered Marco. "Or better to be surprised?" There were so many questions left to ask. So many questions left to answer and so many left to ask. Oh, I read it a little bit wrong. So in the morning, they raised the anchor and hoisted the heavy sails. They knew now that the wind would come and go, the clouds would sometimes make marvelous swirls and sometimes make them wet, and that everything they hoped to find could be found aboard an antlered ship. That's a pretty cool ship, isn't it? On the way to wherever they were going. Ooh, you see what they sing here? A whale. That's the end. That is a pretty great book with a pretty cool adventure in it. All right, Petey, so why do you think that you are here today? Because of pirates. That's true. Also because I didn't have a fox puppet, but because of pirates and because you have so much experience sailing. I don't know if you noticed in the book, but Victor the pigeon had a bandana on his head pretty similar to Petey's. I noticed. Yeah, Petey noticed. He knows. He pays attention to that sort of pirate fashion. Yeah, some of the actual pirates in the book also had some bandanas on their head. They were my favorite. They were not my favorite. I really like Marco the Fox, but I can see why you would like them. All right, I think it is time for us to sing another song. So I thought we could sing a song about some animals that we might see in the forest. You know, the animals in this book, not pigeons so much. They mostly live in the city, but the animals in this book mostly live in a forest. Some of them we don't really know what kind of sounds they make. Do you know a fox makes a sound that sounds kind of like a person screaming? It's a little bit scary. We're probably not going to do that one. And a deer make all sorts of weird sounds that are also hard for people to make. So we probably won't do that one either. But can you think of other animals that might live in the forest? One that I thought of that looks kind of like a fox but is bigger would be a wolf. Do you know what sound a wolf makes? It goes like, oh, it howls like that. All right, can you make a nice rhythm on your table or on your lap? I went to visit the forest one day. I saw a wolf along the way. And what do you think I heard it say? It said, oh, oh, oh. What else lives in a forest? How about an owl? Have you ever seen an owl? They mostly come out at night. They're nocturnal, but they sound like hoo, 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 hoo. And they definitely live in a forest. I went to visit the forest one day. I saw an owl along the way. And what do you think I heard it say? It said, hoo, 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 hoo. Very good. What else might live in a forest? Ooh, you might see a snake in the forest, like down on the ground. You know what sound a snake makes? It sounds like, here we go. I went to visit the forest one day. I saw a snake along are pretty cool. All right. What else might live in a lot of different animals live in the forest. Oh, one of my favorite animals that live in the forest is a bear. Do you know what sound a bear makes? A bear growls like grrr. I don't know that we have bears in our forest here in Maryland, but in other places, definitely. I went to visit the forest one day. I saw a bear along the way, and what do you think I heard it say? It said, grrr, grrr. Oh, so that's why we don't mess with bears. You shouldn't mess with any animals that you see in the forest. You can look at them from afar, but close up, you just don't know what they're going to do. So don't go close to any of these animals if you ever see one. Okay, Any other animals that live in the forest? I mean, like squirrels live in a forest. They make kind of a weird chattering sound that's pretty cool. But you know what else? A lot of birds live in the forest. Birds make all sorts of different sounds, but I thought we could maybe do it cheep, cheep, cheep. I went to visit the forest one day. I saw a bird along the way, and what do you think I heard it say? It said cheep, 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 cheep. Or it might make a sound like coo, coo, coo. That's kind of the sound that a pigeon makes. All right. Oh my goodness. Well, we're running pretty short on time, but I thought we could sing one more wintertime song before we end. This is a song about a snowman. If you built a snowman in the snow when it snowed last week, you'll know that the way that you build a snowman is you start with a snowball and you roll it through the snow until it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you stack them to make your snowman. So we're going to be the snowman, and we're going to grow like this. You can stand up if you want. I probably won't because you can't see me anymore. Once there was a snowman, snowman, snowman. Once there was a snowman, tall, tall, tall. What happens to a snowman when the sun comes out? If you look outside, you'll see there aren't any snowmen now because they melt. All right, you ready to melt? In the sun he melted, melted, melted. In the sun he melted, small, small, small. Oh, bonk. I melted all the way off camera. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, hopefully you'll be able to build a snowman or do some other fun snow things when it snows this weekend. But before we go, I just wanted to say thank you for coming and to tell you about a couple of cool things that we're doing at the library this weekend. Saturday morning, online, you can find the information on our website, is Dancing Through the Day with Laura. We'll have that in the chat so you can see the link to it. It was going to be pretty awesome. Also, parents, if you are watching, we will be giving out free COVID tests on Saturday at every branch from 10 to 12. It's one per person. So while supplies last, but if you can get that, any library that's near you, you should be able to do that. Also on Saturday, so many things on Saturday. If your child needs a new coat, we'll be giving out free coats at the Southeast Anchor branch starting at noon. And that is also while supplies last. So all of those things are in the chat or online. You can find more information about those. And we hope that we will see you at least some of those. All right. Petey, do you have anything to say? Bye, mateys. That's a very good pirate goodbye. But before we go, we have to sing our goodbye song. I like to... When we do it in person, we hit the floor. But since I'm sitting at a desk, I'm going to hit the desk. You can hit your lap. If you're on the floor, you can hit the floor. And we're going to make a nice rhythm. We hit the floor together. We hit the floor together. We hit the floor together because it's fun to do. All right, now we're going to clap our hands. We clap our hands together. We clap our hands together. We clap our hands together because it's fun to do. Can you stomp your feet? We stomp our feet together, we stomp our feet together, we stomp our feet together because it's fun to do. All right, can you sway from side to side? Ooh, that was hard to say. We sway from side to side, we sway from side to side, we sway from side to side because it's fun to do. Can you wave goodbye? We all wave goodbye, we all wave goodbye, we all wave goodbye because it's fun to do. Thank you for coming, everyone. We'll see you next time.